Dreams are free. Hustle is sold separately. Ladies and gentlemen, we all dream. We dream wide-eyed at night. We dream as children. We dream of the life we could live, the places we could go, the things we could achieve. And dreams, they cost nothing, not a dime. You can dream from a park bench or a penthouse, rich or poor, young or old. Dreams are handed out for free. But the hustle charges interest, daily, and not everyone's willing to pay that price. 1. Dreams are the spark. Hustle is the flame. A dream will light your imagination. It'll show you what could be. But without work, without sweat, without relentless grind, that dream stays a wish. The flame of success needs fuel, and that fuel is hustle. Dreams are the spark. Hustle is the flame. It's a simple phrase, but within it lies a profound truth about success, effort, and transformation. A dream is where it starts. It's the first flicker of light, the whisper in your soul that says, this could be you. It's the image you see when you close your eyes and picture a life that's greater, richer, fuller. Dreams are beautiful. They stir emotion, they give hope, but the spark alone doesn't light the fire. That's where hustle steps in. See, anyone can dream. In fact, most people do. There's no limit to what the human mind can imagine. A young kid in a small town can dream of standing on Olympic podiums. A single mother can dream of owning her own business. A struggling artist can dream of their work being seen across the world, and dreaming doesn't cost a thing. It's free, accessible, and universal. But the fire, the real movement, doesn't start until the hustle begins. Hustle is the long hours. It's what happens when the excitement of the dream fades and you're left with routine, rejection, sacrifice, and grind. Hustle doesn't care how inspired you felt when the idea first came to you. Hustle asks what you're willing to do after the dream stops feeling good. It's the daily commitment to push when things are uncomfortable. It's failing and choosing to keep going. It's working when others rest, studying when others scroll, showing up again and again when no one notices or applauds. A spark is delicate. It's quick. It flashes. And then it's gone unless it finds something to burn. That's hustle. That's where the fire catches. You feed the flame by taking actions. Small steps, bold steps, silent steps. But steps all the same. Over time that flame grows. It becomes momentum. It becomes progress. It becomes heat. And eventually, that fire is what sets your world ablaze. Take this example. There was a boy who grew up in a rough neighborhood, surrounded by crime and poverty. His father was gone, and his mother worked 3 jobs just to keep food on the table. But this boy had a dream. He wanted to be a doctor. No one in his family had even finished college. People laughed when he said it out loud, but he kept that dream alive. That was the spark. Now, here's where the flame started. He studied in the back of fast food restaurants after his shift. He rode 2 buses and walked 2 miles to school every day. He got rejected from medical school twice, but he didn't quit. He kept learning, kept working, kept improving. He worked nights, tutored students, and applied again. On his 3rd attempt, he got accepted. Years later, he didn't just become a doctor. He opened clinics in underserved areas just like the one he grew up in. That's the flame. Without the spark, there's no direction. But without the flame, there's no progress. The dream may light the way, but only hustle can carry you down the road. And here's the truth many don't want to hear. Your dream doesn't make you special. It's what you do about your dream that sets you apart. So when people tell you to dream big, listen. But understand that dreaming isn't the end. It's only the beginning. The real work, the real transformation, that starts when you hustle, when you turn intention into action, when you stop waiting and start moving. Because a spark can inspire, but a flame can change your life, too. Vision without action is just illusion. You can write your goals on the wall. You can meditate on them, manifest them, but if you're not getting up early, if you're not staying up late, if you're not getting rejected, corrected, and redirected, then all you've got is a poster with pretty words. Vision without action is just illusion. It sounds poetic, but it's a hard truth. Wrapped in elegance, having a vision, an idea, a plan, a dream of what could be, is powerful. It's where every great invention, career, business, or personal breakthrough begins. But the vision itself, no matter how clear or inspiring, means absolutely nothing if it isn't followed by action. Without execution, a vision is just a fantasy. It exists only in your mind. It makes you feel like you're moving forward, but in reality, you're standing still. Many people confuse planning with progress. They spend hours writing goals, making vision boards, dreaming about outcomes, and imagining success. That's all good. It's part of the process, but it's only part of it. What separates the successful from the dreamers is what happens after the vision is created. Do you act on it? Do you build something real from it? Or do you stay stuck in the comfort of imagining, hoping the universe will do the heavy lifting? Action is the muscle that brings your vision to life. It's the late nights when you'd rather sleep. It's the early mornings when no one else is watching. It's the uncomfortable conversations, the failures, the pivots, the showing up when it's hard, the building of something out of nothing. Every big thing that exists in the world today was once just a thought, but that thought was followed by deliberate, consistent action. The illusion is dangerous because it can trick you into feeling accomplished. Vision can give you a temporary sense of success. It feels good to think big. It feels exciting to talk about your future. But unless you take a step, a real one, toward making it happen, it stays locked inside your head. You're not building anything. You're just fantasizing. There's no shame in dreaming, but there's no reward for staying there. Here's an example that makes it plain. There were two friends who grew up in the same town. Both had a vision to start a clothing brand. They loved fashion, had great taste, and wanted to create something original. They'd talk for hours about their ideas, what the name would be, the logo, the website, the message behind it. One of them went all in on the vision. He bought design software, sketched ideas, learned how to source materials. He started small, made a few shirts, sold them locally, asked for feedback, improved his craft, and kept building. The other friend, he kept talking about the brand, he kept brainstorming. He said he was waiting for the right time, or just one good investor. Years passed. The first friend's brand grew, gained attention, and became successful. The second friend, he still had the vision, but nothing real to show for it. That's the difference. One turned vision into movement. Other held onto illusion. The second friend wasn't lazy. He was just caught in the trap of thinking the vision itself was enough. You can read every book on success. You can watch all the motivational videos. But until you act, until you do the real work, your vision will remain nothing more than mental slideshow. Action gives your vision a body. It gives it a voice. It makes it touchable. Action makes it matter. So don't just dream about writing the book. Write the first page. Don't just think about the business. Take the first step. Don't wait until everything is perfect. Start where you are with what you have, because vision without action, that's not ambition. That's imagination, and imagination alone won't change your life. 3. Nobody's coming to save you, not your friends, not your parents, not some lucky break. You want it, you earn it. Talent, that's a gift, but hustle, that's a choice. Your choice made every single day. Nobody's coming to save you. That's a hard truth, but it's also a liberating one. At first, it might sound harsh, even unfair, but the sooner you accept it, the stronger you become. We grow up with stories where the hero is rescued, where someone swoops in at the last minute to fix everything. In real life, though, that moment rarely comes. Life doesn't hand out miracles. It gives you moments, and what you do with those moments determines your path. Waiting around for someone else to fix your problems, give you a break, or hand you opportunity will keep you stuck where you are. You are responsible for your future. It doesn't mean help never shows up. Yes, people can guide you. Yes, you may get support, but relying on that, building your hopes on the idea that someone else will do the heavy lifting for your life, that's a losing game. You must be your own rescue. Your mindset, your hustle, your persistence. That's your lifeboat. The truth is, most people are too busy saving themselves, and even those who care about you deeply can only go so far. They can encourage you, advise you, maybe give you a push, but they can't walk the path for you. Your decisions, your work ethic, your ability to get up after falling. That's what builds your life, not someone else's effort. This mindset shift is powerful because it puts the power in your hands. It means you're not waiting anymore. You're not stuck hoping that luck Someone else's generosity will change your circumstances. You're moving, you're building, and when you realize that no one's coming, you stop complaining. You stop making excuses. You start acting. Let's take a simple but powerful example. There was a young woman raised in a rough neighborhood, surrounded by drugs, crime, and broken homes. Her father was incarcerated. Her mother struggled with addiction. She bounced from school to school, barely passing her classes. Every reason to quit was there. Every excuse made sense. She could have said, "This isn't my fault." And she would have been right, but she also realized that no one was coming to save her. No program, no teacher, no neighbor was going to fix her life. So she took control. She stopped blaming. She started studying, late into the night every night. She worked a part-time job, helped her younger siblings, and applied scholarships no one thought she'd win. Her hustle paid off. She got into college, graduated, and became a lawyer. Not because someone saved her, but because she saved herself. That's not a story of luck. That's the story of ownership. That's the story of someone who stopped waiting and started working, and that power lives in all of us. It just takes a decision to activate it. You can't keep waiting for the right moment, the perfect conditions, or the magical opportunity. You can't wait for someone to pick you. You have to pick yourself. Start where you are. Start with what you have. And don't worry if it's not much. Just start. The day you stop expecting rescue is the day you start building results. The people who make it in life aren't always the most talented or the most privileged. They're the ones who accept full responsibility. They don't wait for a handout. They dig in, they create, they fight, and they refuse to quit. Nobody's coming to save you. And that's okay, because you are more than enough to save yourself. 4. Discipline outlasts motivation. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes. Discipline, that's showing up when it's boring, when it's hard, when nobody claps. That's waking up at 5 a.m., when the dream felt real at midnight, but life feels heavy at sunrise. Discipline outlasts motivation. That phrase holds the key to long-term success, consistency, and personal growth. Motivation feels good. It's the fire that gets you started. It gives you a rush, a spark, a push. It makes you excited about your goals. But motivation is temporary. It fades. It comes and goes based on your mood, your environment, or even the weather. If your progress depends only on how motivated you feel, you're building on unstable ground. You can't count on motivation to carry you through the days when life gets heavy, when obstacles show up, or when you simply don't feel like doing the work. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is the muscle that keeps you moving when motivation is nowhere to be found. Discipline is showing up when you're tired, focused, when you're distracted, and committed when you're discouraged. It's doing what needs to be done, not just when you feel like it, but especially when you don't. It's choosing long-term results over short-term comfort. And it's what separates those who try from those who achieve. The problem is, many people wait until they feel ready. They say, "I'll start when I'm motivated." But the most successful people don't wait to feel like it. They act regardless of how they feel, because they know feelings aren't facts. And discipline is not about emotion. It's about decision. It's about building habits that carry you through the highs and the lows. Think of an athlete. Let's say a marathon runner. Motivation might get them to sign up for the race. It might get them to lace up their shoes for the first few runs. But when it's week 5, it's raining, their legs are sore, and they've got a full schedule. That day motivation won't be enough. That's where discipline kicks in. Discipline says, do it anyway. Discipline says, you made a commitment, now honor it. That's how they cross the finish line, not by being hyped every day, but by being consistent every day. Here's a short, powerful example. There was a man who wanted to lose weight and improve his health. Like many, he started with excitement. He bought workout gear, joined a gym, cleaned out his fridge, and made a vision board. The first week, full energy, he crushed every workout. By the third week, the excitement started to dip, work got stressful, the workouts got harder, progress felt slow, motivation began to disappear, but this man did one thing differently. He didn't rely on motivation. He built a routine. Every morning at 6 a.m., he got up and went to the gym no matter how he felt. Some days he crushed it, some days he barely made it through, but he never missed. Over time, the results came, not in dramatic bursts, but in steady, measurable progress. A year later, he was down 60 pounds, off medications, and stronger than ever. Not because he was always motivated, but because he was disciplined. That's the power of discipline. It builds momentum. It builds trust in yourself. And it creates a rhythm that carries you through every challenge. While motivation can get you started, only discipline will keep you going. If you want to be successful in anything, your health, your career, your craft, you have to stop chasing the feeling and start building the habit. Do the work even when it's not fun. Keep the promise you made to yourself, because that's where growth lies, not in bursts of energy, but in daily effort. Motivation might light the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. 5. Let the work speak. You don't have to scream about your goals. You don't need applause. Just work. And when the time is right, that work will make noise louder than your words ever could. Let the work speak. In a world full of noise, where everyone's talking, posting, bragging, and performing for attention, this principle is a quiet but powerful reminder. Results matter more than words. You don't have to announce every move you make. You don't need applause for every step of the process. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth or your progress. Just do the work, and let the results speak for themselves. Real success doesn't have to scream. It doesn't need constant validation. It doesn't demand the spotlight. It simply shows up. When you're truly focused on your goals, when you're locked in on your craft, your mission, your purpose, you stop worrying about who's watching. You stop performing and start producing. Because at the end of the day, talk fades. Hype dies down, but the work lasts. The work tells the truth. There's nothing wrong with sharing your journey, but problems arise when the performance overshadows the process. Some people get caught in the trap of talking more than they're doing. They build a reputation without results. They look busy, but they're not productive. It becomes more about appearances than about progress. But the people who win in the long run, they put their heads down. They train in silence. They build in the background, and when they finally step forward, their work is undeniable. When you let the work speak, you protect your energy, you stay grounded. You don't chase trends or opinions. You stay focused on the mission, and something powerful happens. People start to notice, not because you told them to, but because your results made them look. And those results carry more weight than any claim ever could. Here's a perfect example. There was a young man fresh out of college who landed an entry-level job at a tech company. He wasn't flashy. He didn't brag about his GPA or post every small achievement on social media. He just worked quietly, consistently. While others were networking loudly or seeking recognition, he was learning, refining, solving problems, and taking on projects no one else wanted. In meetings, he didn't speak unless he had something valuable to say. But when he did, people listened. Over time, his work started to show. Projects he led were finished faster. Teams ran smoother. Clients were happier. Upper management started paying attention. Not because he was loud, but because the results of his work were loud enough on their own. Within 3 years, he wasn't just promoted. He was leading the department. Others asked, how did he do it? The answer was simple. He let the work speak. That's what you should aim for. You don't need to prove anything with words when your results speak volumes. You don't need to argue your worth when your work makes it clear. Let others debate, boast, and seek approval. You stay in the lab, stay in the gym, stay in the grind, and when the time comes, the work will walk in before you do. It will speak with authority, clarity, and truth. Letting the work speak isn't about being invisible. It's about being undeniable. It's about building something so solid, so real, so excellent, that it doesn't need a sales pitch. People can see it, they feel it, and they respect it. So the next time you're tempted to tell the world what you're about to do, pause, then do it. Finish it, master it, deliver it. And when the world sees what you've built, you won't have to say a word. Let the work speak. Because when it does, it speaks louder and longer than anything you ever could. Closing words, so yes, dream big, dream wild, dream without limits. But when the dream is over and the morning comes, lace up, show up, get to work, because dreams are free, But hustle will cost you everything, and in the end, it's worth every single penny. Thank you.